so in this video, I'm going to talk about the laziest content system that I was able to develop that's just going to allow me to post content consistently across several platforms for the rest of the year. And not even just the rest of the year. This is what I'm going to use until I develop a better system that allows me to distribute even more content and generate even more traffic. All right. So I'm going to go over all of this real quick, and I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into everything. So pretty much what happens when people start creating content is they spread themselves really thin across several platforms. And what's really happening there is you're creating like half-assed content across every platform, because what you're doing is you're almost trying to like shortcut the process, okay? And you'll see people who post content on all platforms and they do it very well, right? Like Alex Ramosi, for example. But he has an entire team behind him. When you have an entire team behind you, and also when you have a lot of data to create content, it becomes a lot easier, all right? But you have to assess where you are. Like if you're just starting out, you need to pick one platform, all right? Now, what I do is I pick one day a week. I sit down at my computer and I type out a Notion document on the topic that I want to discuss. I list the bullet points, like the main points I want to talk about, and then I skim the document real quick, and then I just set up my iPhone, set up this whiteboard, and I film the video in one take, all right? Now, that might not work for you. You might be the type of person who needs a word-for-word script, or, you might need a bullet point script like off to the side. It really just depends on, how comfortable you are in front of the camera. So we'll go over that a little bit in more depth in a sec. But the common topic when it comes to content is like, where do you come up with content ideas? Like that's the one thing that I notice on calls with prospects, even calls with clients. Like, how do I come up with more ideas? And it's very simple. The way you come up with more ideas is by just doing things. So for example, you'll be on a client call and you guys will be talking about a specific problem the client is facing, and then all of a sudden you get an idea. All right. Now, the odds of that problem that your client is facing, like being super rare and like they're the only ones dealing with it, is like slim to none. All right. If they're having a problem, odds are there are thousands of other people having the same problem. So what you're going to do is you're going to write down that problem, use a document, type out like all the answers, all the solutions to that problem. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do exactly what I'm doing right now. You're going to film a YouTube video on it, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to post the video to YouTube, and you're going to use the main points in that video to distribute or to create content for newsletter, Twitter, and LinkedIn, okay? Now, this isn't like the one size fits all solution right here. You can use that YouTube video to create Instagram posts. You're basically just using that one piece of content to create several other pieces of content. I'm just showing you my strategy at the moment. So what I do is I use the YouTube video to write several newsletters, as well as a bunch of tweets and a bunch of LinkedIn posts, which I schedule out. And then basically what's happening is I'm just using the data that I'm receiving into my brain, and I'm just distributing it. That's it, right? And then as you can see, this is me right here filming this video. I'm just in front of the whiteboard explaining the process, all right? So when it comes to content, you want to make sure you simplify it to become as easy and frictionless as possible. So when I say this is the laziest content strategy that I can develop, the reason I'm saying that is because I'm very involved in client fulfillment for my clients. So I don't have the time to every single day sit down and record a bunch of shorts and post them. So what I figured out is I can just spend probably 2 hours a week preparing a YouTube video, filming the YouTube video, posting the YouTube video, and then using several systems, taking that one YouTube video and turning it into a bunch of other pieces of content. All right. So to recap, instead of spreading yourself super thin when it comes to content, pick one platform, dial in on it. All right. Focus on that one platform, make good content. Most of the time, it's not the algorithm that's the reason why your content's not getting views. It's really just the fact that your content is not good. You're not solving problems. People don't want to the content you're putting out because there's no value in it. All right. So you're gonna pick one platform, dial in on it. Where are you gonna get the ideas for these videos? Well, you're gonna get the ideas from these videos by just doing things, by being in the field, right? When you're in the field and you start to learn things, you start to become an expert, and you now have information that you can teach other people. And then, that's what you're doing with your content. And then that's pretty much it. You're going to use that information, film a YouTube video, post it to YouTube, repurpose that content. I wouldn't just jump into that. If you have the means, if you have systems set up that allow you to take that one video and turn it into, like I said, newsletter, tweets, LinkedIn posts, then by all means do that. But if you notice yourself spreading your attention a bit too thin and your YouTube video starts lacking, then just completely cut this out for now. These videos that you post are permanent. They're staying on your YouTube account. Later on, when you have more time, or you hire out a team, or you hire an agency to help you with your content, you can outsource this, okay? But you really want to dial in on the one YouTube video, because the one YouTube video is what's going to allow you to start building this knowledge of information that you can just continuously reiterate. You can continuously just start repeating yourself, taking the main points, creating new videos around that. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So that is the laziest content system that I developed that is going to allow me to create content for the rest of the year consistently across all platforms and build a massive amount of momentum, driving traffic back to my offer. So that is it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in the next one.